Thank you for joining us for this edition of Coach's Corner. My name is George Webb, president of the Gridiron Club, and I'm here with Steve Ryan, who's head coach of the Dover Sherburne Raiders football team. Steve, thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Thanks for having me, George.
Steve, I thought today we'd do the similar format where we'll take a look back at last week's game at Medway. Big win for the team. Now we're standing at 5-1, and then we'll look forward to the Millis game coming up this Friday night. So Medway, we had a big win against them last year. Tough team, big kids, good program. We knew it would be a pretty tough challenge for us this past week. And can you talk a little bit about the game and how it compared to the scouting we did for them, and maybe just kind of give an overview of how things went?
Medway's a really good team, very, very strong team. They're going to continue to win a few games, and we knew that was going to happen. Just a really strong program overall. That particular game, was back and forth. We went down early. We came back, tied it up, or took the lead. They came back, tied it up, and so it was a little back and forth. But it was nice to be ahead at the end.
So really important for our guys to go through a game like this. We ended up first half really tight, fought back and forth, touchdown, a lot of defensive line, a lot of offensive line back and forth. At the halftime, I think it was 20-22, right?
Yes, 20-22.
So for the team, you talk about being able to get into a game like that and dig in and kind of toughen them up for the rest of the schedule.
Yeah, it's a really good one for us. To come out against a team that hits that hard, it always is good for the team moving forward.
It's funny. I think if we had to give a game ball this week, it would go to the lines, both the offensive line and the defensive line. And it was interesting when we got to the field. Medway was chatting a little bit. I don't know if you heard it. They were making fun of the undersized Dover Sherburne line. They called us the smallest line and the TVL small. And we started chatting a little bit on the sidelines with that. It might have been a little bit of extra motivation for our guys. So maybe you could just talk about the line play and how a smaller, more athletic line really gave those guys a hard time.
Yeah, we try to, build around what we have. And, we don't have any 300-pound guys. So what we try to do is be athletic up front. And, we do a lot of pulling and a lot of moving with our offensive linemen. And they did a great job of it. Same thing on defense, Instead of sitting there trying to plug gaps with guys who are 175 pounds, we're going to get them trying to get in the backfield and create havoc.
So technique and athleticism makes a big difference on the line, and credit to Mike Tassone and Coach Eric Luciano. Both the lines did very well. I think also the toughness at the lines is sometimes you win a football game and you look at the scoreboard. This game was a little different. I think our lines, they took the game and by the perseverance. Again, tight in the first half. Maybe we can talk about the quarterback play. We had some pretty good scoring. I think the final score was 35-20. But it was the game was a lot closer than that. We didn't break it open really until the second half of the fourth quarter. So maybe you can talk about the skill players. Mike Polk, for example, had a pretty good game.
Yeah, Michael had a great game. We had a drive early that stalled, and then Medway went ahead, and Michael came back for a long touchdown pass, and immediately he had the 2-point conversion as well. So that was great. Other guys like Fosa had an outstanding game running the ball, but he'd be the first one to tell you that all that is his success is a result of the great offensive line play.
Yeah, Fosa had another really good game. We kind of joke with him. He's like Corey Dillon, grinding the clock down at the end of the games. We had some big leads, and the athletic running he's been doing really opened him up at the end.
Yeah, he's been great, and this isn't the first time he's done that for us. He's been starting for us for 3 years. He's just a really solid running back.
So really quiet, solid, selfless, and running a really physical game. He's I think after first couple of games of the season, I think he was getting over an injury, but he's really come on strong the last couple. One thing that surprised me is, we're not surprised that Johnny Bennett is so skilled with the returns. He had another one that he brought back. I think the only thing that's a little surprising now is Medway kicked it right to him just about every time. So that was a little bit unusual, don't you think?
I'm always shocked when somebody kicks the ball to Johnny, but as a coach, I see what Medway's doing. He has faith in his guys. He thinks his guys can handle that. But Johnny just repeatedly has been better than whatever defense has been thrown at him. He also had that pick at the end of the game that really sealed the win for us.
And credit to Medway. They played tough for a full 48 minutes of football. A lot of good hard hitting, and really wasn't again until the fourth quarter that things opened up for us. So for TVL Small, winning against Medway puts us in a pretty good position at 5-1. So we're coming up on the 7th game of the season. We got one more game, and then they start to think about seeding the playoffs, right?
Right. Yeah. So we've got Millis this week, and then Norton, and then the playoffs start.
Okay, so let's talk about Millis for a minute. Millis, again, another tough team. They don't like us so much. Not sure what their record is. I think they're 500-ish.
Yeah.
So they're going to be looking to come away with a win here. So can you talk a little bit about the scouting and what we can expect?
Well, they do a lot of different things. Offensively, they can run a double tight end, double wing offense. We know they can spread it out. The quarterback's a very good athlete, and he likes to run. Defensively, we've seen them in the 5 this year. We've seen them in the 4, and they'll blitz at times, and other times they'll just sit back. So we have to be ready for everything.
Anything in particular that we're going to be concerned about as we prepare for Millis?
Yeah, our keys are the quarterback, really. He's a great runner. He can extend plays. When you extend plays, a lot of times you'll either get a holding penalty on the defense, or some guy will eventually get open. So it's a great skill for him to have.
So we play Friday night under the lights at Millis. And what time is the game?
7 o'clock.
Thank you. I'm always a half hour wrong. So 7 o'clock Friday night under the lights at Millis. Again, we'd ask everybody to turn out and support the team. Steve, any final thoughts before we wrap this segment?
No, just thanks for everybody. We had a great crowd out there at Medway again. Really appreciate you guys coming out.
All right, thanks. Really appreciate you taking the time to do Coach's Corner. And let's watch our team hopefully get a chance to go to 6-1 on Friday night. Again, please turn out. The team really appreciates the support. Thanks for joining us for Coach's Corner. Hi, my name is George Webb, and I'm president of the Gridiron Club for the Dover-Sherburne Football Raiders varsity football program. We'd like to thank all of you for the sponsorship and donations to the endowment. The program sponsors and picks up a lot of the budget items that the Dover-Sherburne school system is not able to provide for our football team. We pick up additional coaching, training, and team events for the athletes so that they can continue to have all the resources they need to have a successful and winning football program. Again, we've had winning seasons, 5 out of the last 6 seasons. A good part of that has been contributed to and supported by the community and the endowment that supports the program. If you'd like to continue to contribute to the endowment, we'd encourage you to go to the DoverSherburneGridiron.com. There's a link there, and we welcome your contribution. It's a 501c3 organization, not-for-profit, supporting the team. We also benefit from gate receipts. So coming out and supporting your team on Friday nights when we have home games is really important to help support the endowment, but it's even more important to support the athletes. The kids work very hard, and again, they're coming up on the potential for a 4th winning season in a row. So we've been in town for a long time, and it's been a while since we've had a team that's been this successful. So again, thank you for your support, and please continue to support the Dover-Sherburne Gridiron Club. Welcome, and thank you for joining us for Coach's Corner. My name is George Webb. I'm here today with Coach Rob Mosher. Rob is the head coach for the junior varsity team. So we thought we'd take a little bit. JV's off to a good start this year. Had a couple of nice wins, and Rob's been a key part of helping the team develop. So Rob, I thought just for introduction to the crowd, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself. You're a Dover-Sherburne graduate, and how long you've been involved in the program.
Yeah, so I graduated from Dover-Sherburne in 2015, and this is my 2nd year coaching the football team. I joined on last year, and then I've been coaching track as well for the past, this would be my 3rd year coaching track. So I've been around these kids for a while. I've seen how hard they work, and I've seen what kind of, athletic culture we have around here.
So and you played for Dover-Sherburne too, right?
Yes, I did.
What position did you play when you were on the team?
I was a receiver and a safety.
Okay, and so for the varsity, you're also helping out because we have both squads together. What positions are you coaching for varsity?
I coach wide receivers and defensive backs.
So it's good to have another Dover-Sherburne graduate helping out with the team here. Any cross recruiting from the track team to the football team in the last couple of years?
Definitely been able to get a couple kids from track to come over. We Big Walker Adams. He was a thrower for the track team, and I was like, there's no way I'm letting him not play football. And so he's been a good addition to the team. We've had a couple kids from football come over and do track, just try to work on their speed and all their, things like that. So it's been good, it's been a good, relationship having both teams.
So we have junior varsity working out with varsity, so it's the same playbook, a little bit slimmed down for JV when we get out there for offense and defense, right?
Yes, exactly.
So when we take a look at the sophomore and freshman classes, sophomore, pretty good sized class, but also a lot of the freshmen that we've had coming in, decent size, but big kids, right?
Yeah, we've had a lot of great size come in, especially in this freshman class that just came in. They have a lot of, there's some big kids in that class, which is good because, the thing with Dover Sherman, they always say is we're always lacking in size, but we have some good kids coming up who are really big and, not just big, they're athletic as well. So it's really been good to see that.
This freshman class, some of the kids that are coming in are pushing more weight in the weight room and are taller than some of the seniors we have playing. So that looks pretty good for us for the continuity of the program going forward.
Yeah, it looks great for us. Especially the biggest thing is having culture in the weight room, make sure kids are getting in there and pushing themselves because it's one thing to go in there and just be in there, but it's another thing to be in there really working yourself and making yourself better. And we've had such good leadership over the past couple of years that I think that the culture just is kind of ingrained at this point. And these kids, they go in there and they're ready to work, and they're just and they're willing to work, and they they love seeing the different the numbers go up and up and up for them, and it's just great to see.
And so you've been an important part of the program and helping to recruit even down into the middle school because you spent some time down there too. So in many ways, the JV squad is the developmental team for the varsity. And we've had pretty good success over the last couple of years of sophomores going up and playing varsity for us.
Yeah, I would say so for sure. You look at the guys we had starting for us last year. Griffin Rossbottom, Henry Moore, Danny Sullivan started a game for us last year, and then trying to think who else we have. There's a bunch of others as well. Alex Banerjee, Matt Darren. Those guys are two-way starters now. So we definitely had a lot of It's good to see kids who work really hard in the JV level their sophomore years get promoted up on their their junior year. So it's they put in the work and they get rewarded for it. So that's what I like to see.
That's what you hope for. So it helps the varsity team. We've had. We're going on our fifth winning season in a row, but sometimes recruiting the talent up from the JV takes away a little bit from who's eligible on Saturday to play. So we probably gave up a little bit on the JV record, right?
Yeah, here and there, it's tough. It's always tough with JV. You have always a rotating cast of guys, but at the same time, we got plenty of depth this year. Last year depth was a bit of an issue for us because we just didn't have the numbers, but now we got plenty of numbers. We got plenty of guys who are willing to play. So. We might not have the same amount of wins we had last year yet, but I think that it's good to see that we got guys who are working really hard and they're getting better every day. There's so many guys who you look at the beginning of camp, you're like, I don't know, but then now you're like this guy's a football player, and so you don't always see that, but it's awesome to see these guys just how hard they work.
Yeah, these guys, a lot of them are really developing quite a bit, and you can see the leap not only year to year, but you can even see it months apart where they get their skills and they start to get more confidence as they come through. So I appreciate you taking the time just to introduce yourself to the viewers. Any final thoughts you have before we finish the segment?
Go Raiders.
Go Raiders, Friday night. Thanks for joining us.